Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can get the most amount of gems possible in update 2. This is going to be a really helpful video for you guys. It's a brand new method, brand new abilities that we got with the new update, and obviously I'm going to show you exactly the abilities you're going to need for you to be able to do this method. But first, let me give a huge shout out to this person for becoming a member yesterday. If you want to become a member too and give a huge shout out, please go down below and click join right next to the subscribe button. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So I think first we should probably talk about World 1, right? Because there's obviously two worlds. There's World 1 and World 2 now. Now in World 1, the best gem method I did previously, but obviously with the new abilities, with the new power gap, and with the new revamps, we obviously have seen that, there's other abilities you can use that work a lot better. Now, many of you guys have told me repeatedly that, yo, Kongar, bro, every time I use the abilities you told me, I go up, I go to the left, I go to the right, cha-cha, real smooth. Nah, I'm trolling. I found abilities that don't do that, okay? Now, look, I know that it does that because when I tested it, it did not happen to me. Maybe it got updated, maybe something changed, maybe use a different ability. I'm not quite sure, but I do know this. If you use these abilities, you will not move away. You will stay still, okay? And that's the big thing that many of you guys complained about on the last method, okay? So if you're on mobile, if you happen to be a mobile player, respect, bro, respect. I respect the grind. Mobile players have it a little bit more challenging. You can't just use tiny tasks like you can on PC. Quite frankly, it's a lot harder to try to do this method or any method in general on mobile than it is on PC, since obviously PC is much more powerful. On mobile, you're gonna have to do your own research. You're gonna have to find an app that works, but I know that there is an app on Samsung, at least on the App Store, that you can go ahead and download for you to be able to obviously get what you need. Just make sure you equip only the abilities I'm telling you to, and obviously use those abilities with the whole application, okay? So that's just another step for the mobile users individually, so you can follow this method just by using your own application, not the one I'm going to be talking about in this video. Okay, just letting you guys know that. So the first method I'm going to show you is in World 1 that you can use if you have Infinity and obviously Tsunami. Now this method is really overpowered because not only can you use this extremely easily, but you can use this while just standing in the ground, which I think is the major part that most people will like about this. You don't have to be flying, you don't have to do all that stuff. You can just drop down right here and use this really easily. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is obviously go over here right next to the bridge in World 1, where there's 4 enemies right there and 3 enemies right there. Next up is you're gonna have to make sure that you have ready Tsunami and you have ready Infinity. Now if you don't have Infinity, don't worry, I'll have another method right after this one. But for those people that do have Infinity and are on mobile maybe, or just on PC in general, you will be able to use this method extremely easy and get around 50 every 22 seconds, which if you didn't know, it's extremely a lot and much more than the previous method in update 1. So look, let's go ahead and just use this really quickly. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is obviously use the V move in Infinity, this domain expansion. If you use it right over here in this exact spot right next to the tree, you'll be able to go ahead and use it as so and insta kill all 4 enemies to the left. So that's pretty good. That's all said and done. You're gonna get Tsunami ready right after this, and obviously make sure that when you get around like 15 seconds, you go ahead and deploy Tsunami. Now what this will do is get those 3 mobs right over there, and obviously once they spawn, or as soon as they spawn I should say, they will also get wiped. Now make sure your tiny task or whatever you use to press the button is also ready, and then obviously you just press it after like 10 seconds perhaps, over and over again until you over here and use it. Now if you time this correctly, if you get a good momentum going, you can easily get up to 50 every single 22 seconds, which is really good, really OP, and I think many of you guys will really like this method, especially if you're on mobile, because you only need to press like 2 buttons and not even at the same time, which is perfect. And yeah, so this is just one method you can use in obviously World 1 if you're new to the game, if you got Infinity, because I know many of you guys got it because you were that lucky. Obviously many of you guys will use this method to go ahead and evolve a little bit. So I really hope this helped some of you guys, but let's go to the next method. Okay boys, so the next method is going to be obviously in World 2 for those pro players who already advanced to the next world. Shout out to you. And with that being said, let's go right over here to the next location and the next abilities you're going to need for this method. So right here, we're right next to the spawn right over there. Right here is the Colosseum, right here is Goku, and right over there is that area right there. Right here, you're gonna have 5 mobs right here. And now look, these are the first mobs in World 2, but they're much stronger than even the last mobs in World 1. So they're gonna be quite hard to defeat. Now, if you're not in World 2 already, you shouldn't do this method, but if you already got to World 2, I suggest you get even a little bit more strong, at least till you're ready to go to the final training zone in this area. Then you might be able to, you know, not struggle as much on these mobs. But for me, I would struggle a little bit at least. So what you can do here is use these powers. So like I said, I'm really not that strong. So because I'm not that strong, I'm gonna have to use some extra abilities. Basically, what you're gonna need to use is basically the 2 most powerful, I think, abilities in the game, arguably. Obviously going to be Tsunami and Atomic. Now, both of these abilities are extremely overpowered. If you don't know how they look like, they're right over here in strength. You know, over here, it's called Atomic and obviously Tsunami. Now these 2 are one of the most powerful moves because of the damage it does. Now obviously the damage is good and all, but they're not really that hard to get. Tsunami, you get it by just defeating Blackbeard, which many of you guys already have and already got the ability. But Tsunami is a must-have pretty much for any farming method because of the range that it actually does. So right here, make sure you have Tsunami and Atomic. Now I use Ape Screech because it does a lot of damage in a very big radius, so it's very effective to where you're above the enemies. So I like to use Ape Screech, but if you want to use a different ability that you think works better and you don't have the ability, that's totally fine. But I would use Ape Screech because it has such a wide range. Okay, so I would use Ape Screech, Atomic, and Tsunami. Those 3 are very good combination, and if you did what I told you, if you got to the final zone in this area, you should be able to defeat these mobs with just those 3 abilities, which the cooldown honestly varies extremely small. But you don't have to use that final fireball. You just don't have to do it if you did what I told you. So basically, like always, get Tiny Task open, get whatever application you have open to like auto click, and make sure you use these in the same row. First, you're gonna do Tsunami, then you're gonna go ahead and do Atomic, just like so. After you do that, you're gonna obviously do Ape Screech, which does extreme amount of damage, and it will leave 1 more. That's exactly why I'm going to use Fireball to just finish him off real quick. Basically, this is all you're gonna have to do to get around, I think, 62, around there. I'm pretty sure it's 62 though, and you get like basically 62 gems every single time. And the coolest thing I think about this method is the fact that if you kill them all with just those 3 abilities, this, and obviously Ape Screech, just like so, just like that, once you get strong enough to obviously kill all of them, which like I said, should only take you until the last zone in this area, you basically be able to get, you know, a solid 62 every 15 seconds, which if you think about it is very good. Now, as you see, all my cooldowns were gone as soon as they spawned again, so you can do all of these abilities right away and you'll be able to kill them all again and again without needing to wait those extra seconds for the cooldowns or those extra seconds for them to respawn. You can just do that constantly over and over and over again. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think that this method is extremely good and will help you a lot. So yeah, basically this is pretty much the best method in World 2, best method in World 1. But now let's talk about those people that don't have Infinity for World 1. I'll give you a new method that you can go ahead and use, and with that, it will be the video. So I really hope this method in World 2 helped some of you guys out as well. Okay guys, so real quickly, you're basically gonna do the same thing in World 2. Just go over here to Kaido's place where there's 5 enemies right here, and obviously you're gonna have to do the same thing you just did for World 2. But in this case, you really don't have to be that strong as long as you were, like, you know, in the final zone of World 1, which I think many of you are, if not all of you. You really shouldn't struggle to defeat them the same way. So basically, literally just go ahead and do Tsunami, go ahead and do Atomic, and just make sure that you're right in the center so you get everybody attacked. And then just finish it off with, you know, Roar if you need to. If you are strong enough to just, you know, wipe them out without Roar, that's even better, even easier for you in general. So yeah, This will give you, I think, around 40 or something gems every, like, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, which honestly, it's really quickly, really fast. You should have no problemo in getting some gems for you. And I hope this helped you out to obviously get a better transformation. Perhaps then you can use the infinity method if you so wish. But all these methods are really, really good for whoever you are, whatever stage you are in the game. So if you like the video, if it helped you in any way, make sure you go down below and leave a like and subscribe. Perhaps join and become a member. You get a shout out, you get to have some fun time, you get some exclusive stuff. Why not, bro? Go crazy, bro. Go crazy. But with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys on the next video. It's gonna be great. And yeah, peace out.